the bottom lane. One trying to use the momentum of the high lane. Dylan Wilson gets his nose out front. Gregory's not ready to give it up just yet. Now he'll backpedal up.
Late model feature, and it was a good one. Dylan Wilson works his way by the 21 of Monty Cox, and then he holds him off.
I wouldn't want it to end any other way, but that was just awesome side-by-side racing. It's just classic Hickory for you.
I don't want to say anything out of my place here, but you can't expect much from people that run 18-second laps. But, you know, they just stopped right here. I'm not sure what was going on.
And on the outside, working both sides of the street, coming through turn 4 to pick up his first ever late model stock car win at Hickory Motor Speedway.
You know, we fought hard and was patient, and luck was on our side tonight. We caught the cautions right. A couple of them got sent to the back, and I put this piece in victory lane, man. I couldn't be more happy for all my guys. And
real quick, where can they hear you talk about this race later on this week?
Tuesday night, 8:30, Windshield Deep Podcast on Facebook. We'll be talking all about it, and I'll probably be whining a little bit, but I'll still be promoting the short track racing industry. So tune in, and y'all have a good night.
Thank you.
What they're watching.
All righty.
All right, welcome back to the Windshield Deep Podcast. This is episode 14.
Yeah, something like that. 13, 14,
14, something like that. Can't believe we've been going that long. We have a special guest in the area today.
Shop,
maybe whatever you want to call it. I couldn't really think of what I wanted to call it. Brandon Setzer, the man making all the noise in short track racing over the past couple of weeks, is here with us today. We tried to get him to come in right after the whole fiasco. He turned us down because we're not that important. But he decided to come back today, so we're happy to have him here. And going to talk, don't have a whole lot of stuff to talk about tonight. Wasn't a whole lot going on except for rain this weekend, but we do have some stuff we want to talk to Brandon about. But you are listening to the voice of grassroots racing. So getting into it a little bit, I guess. Brandon, it's been a crazy couple of weeks for you here. I know haven't been doing a lot of racing, but had a whole lot of stuff happen on social media. A lot of new people found out who Brandon Setzer was over the past couple of weeks. So I guess just tell us a little bit about what your plan is, or where you plan on racing next, and then we'll get into a little bit of the social media response to all this.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's been absolutely crazy to see the support that we've had from me and my dad over the past couple weeks over the stuff that's happened. It's just been overwhelming. I didn't know we had all these fans and all this following.
Well, now we do.
Yeah, now we do for sure. So we're gonna take it, and see what happens. We could turn this negative deal into getting wrecked 2 weeks in a row, and the whole deal that happened at Hickory, and hopefully take it and turn it into a positive, and get all this fan interaction going on, and have all these people that now know who Brandon Setzer is that maybe didn't know. Maybe I was Dennis Setzer's son before, and now I'm Brandon Setzer. Whatever.
Yeah.
But it's a cool deal for sure. So it's awesome, and hopefully take the momentum. We've had great cars all year this year. We've been in position to win, so hopefully we can convert some of those into wins instead of wrecks, and keep digging.
Yeah, I texted you 2 weeks ago. I said, dude, in light of all this, bad crap that's been going on, this could be like the greatest thing that's ever happened to you from a marketing standpoint. I mean, yeah, it was a bad deal, and it maybe could have transpired a little differently, but now all these people are rallying behind you. I mean, that's got to look good for sponsors, for just the community in general to be behind a driver like that. I think that's pretty dang cool to see everyone come out of the woodworks like that.
It definitely shows short track racing isn't dead.
Oh yeah. I tweeted something. I can't remember what exactly I said, but I just said, over the past couple of days, this was back when it happened, I said the response and the rally behind Brandon and Dennis show me that short track racing is alive and well, 100%.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So I feel like it could be something really good for you, and definitely ride that train. And like I said, with everything that's happened the past couple of weeks, I know you got to go on. Was it Speed 51 show?
Speed 51. Yep. I got to go on their show. Yep.
So you've had a lot of stuff happening, a lot of people talking about you. Where are you planning on racing next?
We hope to race Myrtle Beach. They got a little local show they're going to put on. Hopefully in the middle of July. Hopefully that happens. But we'll see. They got an Orange County pass race. We'll go run. I got a price roofing Ford. I can definitely go run those with those guys. We hope to run Orange County, a local late model stock show in Orange County and possibly Hickory. So hopefully we get to go run with those guys and have a good time, and we'll come back to the Cars Tour whenever me and my dad both can be there. We just have a small team. It's just me and my dad. So, they let me come back, but my dad, he can't. So he's my car chief, my crew chief, the whole deal. So it's tough to do just one guy. And we got great help, Nick Payne, Paul Payne, all those guys that come help at the racetrack. It's just tough to do without your kind of leader. He's the leader.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's tough to do without that. So we'll probably set out until he can come back, and then we'll maybe come back and run some. We'll see.
I would honestly like to know how many at the end of the day, how many posts of the whole free Setzer deal or free Brandon. They had about 3 different ones. Nobody could really get it right. I guess was it free Brandon or free Setzer was your preference.
Hashtag.
Didn't really matter.
I don't know. They kind of mix it up. It's like free Setzer, free Brandon. I'm not sure.
So there was free. Anyway, there was a few of them. I feel like if everybody would have said the same thing, it might have been trending a little bit. Because, it was actually really getting after it. And a lot of people, Dale Jr. tweeted afterwards and was like, man, that was crazy. I don't think he understood the circumstance. I don't think he knew exactly who you were. I think if you do what? Yeah.
I responded to Jr.
Yeah.
He actually,
we always like,
that
it kind of hurt short track racers. So we was all like,
man.
Well, man, shut up. I mean, you're our God.
Yeah.
And then now, but I don't think he understood the situation. I think maybe he didn't know Brandon or somehow didn't know Brandon's last name at the time and just thought that maybe he was just some guy just trying to run up and start a fight. But clearly everybody else on the planet knew exactly what was going on, and we all was pulling for him. Landon clearly was pulling for him. If you didn't watch the broadcast, which I know it's been a couple weeks now, we try to let everything calm down a little bit and trying to at least make a little light out of it and have some fun with it. But
my debut and my final appearance in the
he
booth.
retired.
I thought you did a great job, Landon.
I did good up until it got intense.
I filmed it. Like I filmed. I was behind the scenes filming. I filmed like them. I was trying to get some good B-roll stuff for Windshield Deep. Like, man, we're in the booth. And,
we ain't even done nothing with it yet.
Well, so when that started happening, I was like, I heard him say, like, I heard Tony say, and Brandon Setzer's after somebody. And I'm like, instantly like, well, I'm going to go help him. So I start running out the door. And then I realized that it was already over with before I got to it. But Tony Stevens, don't let him fool you. He was into it just as much as Landon was. He just knew to shut the mic off.
He was just a little bit
don't let him fool you.
Yeah, Tony's a good guy.
Yeah, everybody was pulling for you. And what an outbreak of a support. It sucks. You could be $15,000 richer if it wasn't for 2 guys that had other plans. But at the end of the day, this may lead to something better. And if you want to make light of the shitty situation, this is the best way to do it. Just to embrace
absolutely.
it. Go
Let me ask you this, Brandon. So the rule is Dennis is suspended for 3 races as a car owner, correct? What if he just sold the ownership of the car to you for $1, and then you were the car owner, and Dennis came to the track as a fan? Is that a possibility, or?
Well, the way they got it wrote,
it might have been until you just announced it.
No. Well, see, I can still race the car. Like, that's not a problem. Like, I can still race the car. It doesn't matter who the car owner is. Like, I can write Dennis Setzer as a car owner. I can still race the car at Hickory, but he can't be in the pits to help me.
Oh.
So he can't crew chief the car. Like, he can stand up in the stands.
Well,
like,
he can't
whatever.
come in there at all.
He cannot come in the pits.
Well.
That really limits us because it's me and him that see the car in the shop. We know what the setup is. We know. All right, we make a game plan in the shop. Here's what we're going to change. We're going to change right front spring. We're going to change right side track bar. We're going to change right side trailing arm, left side trailing arm. This is our plan. This is our goal for the day. What we're going to change to try to make the car better. Without him there, it's very hard to do that. When I'm inside the car, like, it's just kind of hard to relate to that when it's just me and him in the shop. It would take another person in there, which is fine. And just a general principle. My dad's been there from the start. If they don't want him there, they don't want me there. That's kind of the way I feel about it.
We were racing that way, and me and Dylan both relate to you on that. Dylan and his dad do the majority of the work on his car with a couple of people that come help him. And
for sure, same deal. Dad, yeah,
we do everything. So
it's not that I don't have good help. Like, I got great help. Like, I got Paul Payne does tires, does a great job. Nick,
It's like trying to go play a football game without your quarterback.
Yeah,
exactly.
everybody has a
It
job.
is.
Yeah.
You have a team, you have guys that can do it, but you just don't have the thing that's going to make it worth your while. It's not like you're running for points, so it don't really matter.
And also,
exactly.
The big difference here between what's happening to Dennis and Brandon at a short track level compared to what you see at the large venue stuff in big time NASCAR on a weekly basis. When a crew chief gets suspended in big time NASCAR, they are not allowed a crew chief. Trust me, they're still crew chiefing. They just might not be at the racetrack. So it's a little bit different. They don't lose their leader, technically. There's somebody sitting on the box in place of them, but trust me, they're not calling any shots.
Yeah.
You know, the crew chief's in a motorhome somewhere in the infield or calling shots from the race shop or something. So it's not the same when you lose somebody at a short track level, especially one of like what we do or how we do it. It makes it really difficult to go to the racetrack. So I completely understand you there for sure.
Yeah, so you've had a lot of stuff going on this year. I guess obviously wasn't really planned for, but at the start of this year, I mean, before any of this crap had went down, I mean, were you planning on running a lot this year, or was you planning on kind of taking it easy or running for points? Or
yeah, I mean, no, we were going to take it a little more easy than we had the last couple of years. We probably wasn't going to run for points, but we're definitely going to run the last half of the Cars Tour season. We definitely started off the year really good with a win at Greenville Pickens. We definitely fell into that situation with Bubba Pollard and Matt Craig crashing each other. We kind of got put into that situation and had a really good finish to 2017 with winning that $15,000 to win pass race. So we were definitely going to run a good bit. But like I say, we can turn this into a good thing. It's not a bad, not a bad thing with the marketing side of it for sure. Getting a lot of notoriety out of it.
Starting to sound like that guy on Corey's post.
yeah, he's getting a lot of notoriety.
It's good publicity.
I'm not sure it's good publicity. He thinks it is. Yeah. He really thinks it is. I'm not sure. Is Corey with us?
Oh,
I believe he is
in here.
He kind of comes and goes, but
I believe I've seen him in here.
Actually,
I'm sure he has a lot to say about that.
We've missed some stuff here, but anyway, yeah. So
Repco's
if you don't know
here.
Brandon by now, then you clearly clicked on the wrong post because we know why everybody's here, and we wanted to discuss it and kind of do it, not politically correct, I guess, in a way. I mean, yeah, we're friends with people at the car store. We're friends with other drivers. We're obviously good friends with Brandon, so like we try to. It goes full circle. You can't really get on here and just cuss everybody out and think that everything's wrong. But either way, it's a crazy situation, and it worked out in a way that, yeah, it really sucks, and the racer in you hates it, but as a person, all the support he got and all the attention from, I feel like that for a week, that's all you saw on everything, and people that had no clue what they was even talking about, like my mom. Like she came to me with her phone, like whenever they announced your suspension, like, they announced it and then they deleted it. We had a Windshield Deep episode and we thought that they like retracted it, and then they posted it and it's like, oh, well, somebody just posted it.
Screwed up.
Like,
Yeah, that's
okay.
Yeah.
Well, then she, like I said, so many people was involved, and Mom was like, what is this? This is bullshit. What? Why do they? I thought you said they were retracting it. I said, I didn't say that. I just assumed.
Yeah, you can't quote anything we say.
Yeah, god dang. You
Jesus.
do realize who you're talking to here.
Yeah.
We just kind of bring short track racers over and hang out with them. And
also, to give a little backstory, yes, obviously we were pissed off when the altercation happened on the racetrack, hence the reason I reacted the way I did. But me and Brandon go back pretty far. So not only did Dennis and my dad race against each other back in the day, but I grew up racing go-karts against Brandon, and I've been really good friends with Brandon for a really long time. So that's why I don't need to be in the booth, because I cannot be unbiased in those situations. Like, if Brandon wrecked Raphael, I can't tell you that I'm going to react the same way, to be completely honest with you.
Absolutely not. Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon won. All right.
That was maybe a little extreme.
Hope Raphael's okay.
Yeah, that,
This is completely off topic, but I can't remember if it was you or not. I feel like it was you, but I remember go-kart racing with you back in the day, like Pine Valley or something. Did you flip a go-kart at any point in time in your career?
Probably not completely flip. I mean, I've wrecked pretty good,
I feel
like
we
done a
wrecked
spin
in
around, but I don't
practice
think
or
I've ever.
something one time. Maybe it wasn't
flipped.
you, but I don't know. I think one time I was racing against you. I had to have been like 5 or 6 or something like that. And
Yeah, because
somebody
you were a
wrecked-
couple years younger.
Somebody wrecked in front of you or something, or you wrecked and somebody launched off of you or something like that. I don't remember. We were really young, but
Yeah, I'm sure it happened, but I'm not.
that was something that I remembered.
And when you first kind of got, I mean, you raced dirt bikes before you raced cars, correct?
Yeah, kind of at the same time. Yeah.
Till
Yeah.
it wrecked.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember you racing. You know, a little bit of dirt bikes and stuff because I was like, I grew up with Chase Pollard and you two. I guess
absolutely,
from Larry and Dennis being friends. Me and Chase knew each other growing up, and then like he knew you. He's like, man, I'm buddies with Dennis Setzer's son. I was like, no shit. I've never met him before. You know?
Yeah.
And then eventually we just started racing with each other, and it just kind of all three of us were racing at the time. Just, And then even Chase was racing 4-cylinder. So it's crazy how when you get involved in a
Racing's
family,
small
it's just
world.
it's so
Racing's
crazy.
a small world. What happened to the dirt bike stuff? I knew you were really heavily into that with our friend Derek Baker.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you eat shit?
So no, I had one really big wreck at a Daniels Ridge track.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you know. It's probably
Absolutely.
15 minutes from here. It ain't far.
Made one lap around that place, wrecked on a berm, quit dirt bike racing. That was it.
Well, the big 110-foot jump on the back, I wrecked on that.
Yeah.
So I come up about 5 foot short. I made it 105 foot on the 110-foot jump, and it didn't end
needed
well.
5 more feet.
Yeah, I needed 5 more foot, and I hit the jump probably 100 times before that, and it wasn't like I was first time hitting or anything like that. Ended up endoing, flipping and crashing pretty big, broke my collarbone. So that was kind of the end of dirt bike, and I feel like a roll cage is a little more safe for me. So
Was it your
absolutely.
decision or was it Dad's decision?
that was a little. Well, Dad didn't like the dirt bike deal at all to start with. He hated
That
it.
was icing on the cake.
So that was my decision pretty much.
Yeah. But anyway, you started off. So when did you raced go-karts, you raced some dirt bikes, but when did you jump into a limited late model? Like, what was your first year? How did that all start for you?
So I actually run the truck series for probably about 3 or 4 years
At Hickory?
for Stuart Huffman. Yeah, at Hickory. We run Hickory on Saturday night and Tri-County on Friday night. We run probably multiple nights, a lot of weekends. Getting a lot of
the track and watching you run that. That was before I was running limited.
Getting a lot of experience like that. You know, we had some great guys to race with. I mean, Mark Johnson, Johnny James, a lot of old school racers that you really learn to earn some respect for sure. So that was a lot of fun. I learned a lot, in the lower levels. I mean, it was probably 18 or 19 years old till I even got a limited car.
Really?
So I mean, I guess I was kind of a late bloomer. But, I mean, it all worked out.
How old are you now?
24.
Are you really?
I didn't realize
I
you
thought
were
you were
2
our
older than
age.
me.
Yeah.
I always thought you were the same age as we were.
I thought
Yep.
you were 1. I didn't know you were 2. Yeah, I remember going to the racetrack probably the year before I was in a limited car and watching you run the truck.
Yep.
Some. And then I remember you had that old limited car too that you ran some. One of the races I remember really well in a limited car, you were leading the race and like the left rear tire or hub broke or something off of 4 and you spun out and crashed, but you were leading. I remember one of those. I can't remember if I was in that one or not, but I do remember that one. And then you didn't race at Hickory much in the limited car though.
Yeah, we went to Wake County a lot. And I learned a ton at Wake County. I mean, it's a small little, it's a Bowman Gray type place.
Dylan loves Wake County.
Yeah, Dylan's run there. He's won some races there. I think you won the big 3,000 win race or whatever.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I went there. And
Yeah.
I asked for I learned to drive that racetrack off of watching your YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Like literally, I picked my gear, everything, because you uploaded a video. I think a win.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, hell, Dad, right here's all we need. And I just watched it, and sure enough, it worked out for us. But that was when Resnick was running it and all that. And it was really fun to do it then. But yeah, such a god dang. If that track was like 1 hour closer, I'd probably run Friday nights and Saturday nights. Like no shit.
That was a long drive on Friday night.
Because
at
they
like
don't start till 8 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
Yeah.
That was a long drive home after working pretty hard.
Last year till 3 o'clock in the morning every time.
Exactly.
I mean,
like going to South
that's
Boston.
part of racing, and I know, but man, it's hard to do that when you got a freaking racetrack 20 minutes from your house, and that's the only thing. If Hickory wasn't alive and well, then I would be going to Wake County. I would be driving that 3 hours. But the problem is it's 3 damn hours. They don't get done racing until 12 or 1 o'clock, and we don't get home till 3 or 4. So
yeah, it's kind of hard.
But it's still a great racetrack, regardless. So if anyone lives in that area, if you ever heard of Wake County, you want to go watch a race, I think they're struggling a little bit on car counts right now, but it's still a hell of a race. Even the U cars and bombers, stuff like that, they have a hell of a show. It's on Friday night too, so big shout out to them. They've always had a hell of a facility, and I'm ready for the cars for a race there.
Absolutely.
Would you be able to race late model stock in that race?
Yeah, no, I absolutely would.
Is that like in the end? Is that after this 3-race deal with Dennis, or?
Well, I mean, I can run supers, late model stocks, whatever. I can run whatever right now.
Well, I'm just saying in general.
Approved to go there.
I don't have a late model stock car that could probably go. I mean, I got the price for up and forward.
Yeah,
but we like to run Orange County. There. She's pretty dialed in Orange County for the local stuff right now.
Yeah, don't change it. Yeah,
she's pretty dialed in. It's bad to the bone in Orange County.
Last year.
Yeah, it won.
Race, didn't you?
Yeah, we run there like 3 times and we won twice and finished second once.
Yeah.
Like it was really good, but I mean it's tough to go beat Josh Berry, Lee Pulliam, Deke McCaskill. I mean you just don't take just regular stuff and go beat those guys.
I would say
they're
the
good.
Cars Tour, the late model stock field this year is probably the strongest that it's ever been.
It's probably one of the strongest late model stock touring series fields of about all time.
Yeah. It's probably one of the strongest touring series fields.
Exactly.
Period.
In the last 30, 40 years, it's literally probably. I think right now it's stronger than UAR. Well, maybe early 2000 UARA is about, and that was tough.
And all them boys running it was pretty tough, but. I mean, now.
But still,
there's 7, 8 guys that can show up, and you literally say, "I don't know who's going to win."
Yeah, added the
absolutely
the Nelson cars.
Yeah,
you added them this year,
and Pulliam this year.
Pulliam this year. So yeah, I would say, and then you're going to have the 2 junior cars. You've got Lemon's cars. You got
Deke McCaskill.
You've got
Bradley. I mean,
Justin Carroll's always a threat.
And Justin. I mean, there's people that. It's unreal. And
the throwback race this year is going to be wild, probably.
Yeah, they got a limited race the night before that, so I guess I'm running that as the plan as of now. So maybe we can do a 2-car special.
Double up.
There you go.
Maybe you can run. No, I can't run 2. I can't afford that shit. But I mean, like if you run the late model race and I run the limited race, maybe we can do some goodies dash throwbacks or something.
Let's do it. I'm down.
Which you already did that, but maybe a different one or something for you. I'd like to do the old thirsty car one time, but I've had another car in mind lately that the actual company used to sponsor my dad, and I don't know, it kind of rhymes with this, but I don't know if I could pull that off just yet. I don't want to do much full wrapping. It takes too much damn time, but anyway. So speaking of old cars, what's your favorite Dennis Setzer paint scheme? I just figured I would ask you that.
Any car.
I know any car, any truck. If you had to pick one, what is your favorite scheme of all time?
So my dad had this Chevrolet Silverado truck, 46 truck, and it was red.
Yeah. Oh, I don't remember a red one.
He had a red truck. He only run it like 3 truck races.
I remember the black and silver one.
Yeah,
it was the same exact deal as a black and silver one. Just wherever it was black, it was red, and the silver was a little different. And he won like 2 out of 3 races with it. And I guess they told him he couldn't bring it back the 4th race. It was pretty bad to the bone. The body was pretty bad to the bone. That truck, just something about it, man. It was just unreal. I think he won like all the mile and a halves that they run. It was a mile and a half truck, and all the mile and a halves. He pretty much either won or should have won.
Pretty good during that.
Grape Ape,
yes.
The Orange Blossom Special.
I mean, obviously the Orange Blossom Special is pretty popular, but just from because I couldn't remember the Orange Blossom Special. That was a little before my time.
People ask me about.
But I can definitely remember the red 46 that was pretty badass.
Yeah, I thought I think the
that's probably the coolest race paint scheme nickname of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, it really probably is.
Orange Blossom Special?
Yeah, I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah.
I mean, Johnny Cash song or whatever, but still. Calling your race car the Orange Blossom Special.
I mean, it's an icon. Like, everyone knows what the Orange Blossom Special is.
Yeah.
If you know anything about short track racing, you know that Dennis Setzer drove the Orange Blossom Special. And Brandon got to drive it one time, too.
Yeah. So, one time. I think we finished 3rd or something.
Yeah.
Wasn't terrible.
Yeah, that's a fun deal. I'm glad that they actually do that deal, but
yeah, it's not a bad deal for sure.
Who knows what's next as far as all that goes, but I do know that it is raining outside right now, as you can hear. If you guys can hear that in the background, sorry. That's what you hear if it's a little staticky, but That's the story. Like someone said earlier, the whole damn country is going to be windshield deep if it keeps raining. But it is. It's rained a lot. It rained me out. Rained Landon out again. We was both going to race at Hickory. Rained us both out, which sucks. But we did get to go to a pig picking.
Yeah.
I don't know if we looked like two guys that would go to a pig picking.
It was interesting. You know, we
yeah. A little different.
Yeah.
You know, we had a good time. We had some good cold drinks and ran out of drinks and had to mix some weird shit, and it worked out for us, but we had a good time either way. And
I don't know if you consider us bartenders, but we're on the verge.
I'm borderline.
We're on the verge.
You made some weird stuff.
I just mix whatever I got.
That one you made tonight was pretty good.
Yeah,
that was sporty.
Yeah, that one was good. It tastes like an Airhead. But I don't know. So we got rained out this weekend. Both of us did again. Wasn't really a whole lot going on short track world this weekend. We had the ARCA race, which was at 1.5 miles at Charlotte.
Yeah,
and
first time
had
in
a
a while.
600 too. Yeah,
maybe first time ever. Don't know.
No, the last ARCA race before this was when Blaze Alexander passed away.
Yeah.
I don't remember what year.
Last time.
Early 2000s, I think.
Yeah, it's like 01, 02, something like that.
But it was a really good race. I mean, they had a lot of side-by-side racing. Actually, it was just on TV here. The rerun of it was. But I got to go. I sat in the stands for it. MDM car, Brandon Jones ended up winning. MDM cars were really fast, but from a fan standpoint, I feel like it was probably one of the better shows of the weekend. I actually thought the 600 was really good this year too, so I'm trying to focus because Dylan keeps reading some comments.
Reading these comments. Everybody just sits here and talks shit to each other, so it's just funny. But I was just reading the Undefeated Cup by 2021.
That's a topic. I wish we could call into
2K18. But yeah, anyway. I don't know if anybody watched the Coach 600. I did. I fell asleep 17 different times, but it was some good racing. This is why I fell asleep. The night before was the pig picking. That's all I'm going to say. So Sunday was a good, sleep, wake up thing.
Dude, it was like 6 o'clock in the afternoon.
I watched so much racing that day.
Yeah,
I woke up at like 8 o'clock and watched the freaking Monaco race. Then I watched the IndyCar race. Then I watched some of the Cup race. I was so burnt out of watching the damn TV by that time I about went to sleep.
Yeah, there's a lot of good racing going on for sure.
Though,
the Indy race sucked. I'm completely honest.
That aero package is junk,
That was
dude.
the worst Indy 500 that I've
like
watched.
the
The year before, it was unreal.
Yeah.
Like, they would pass each other 2 or 3 times a lap.
Yeah.
But this year was not. I mean, they just spent out. They couldn't go at all.
Danica with her grand finale
Yeah.
finished off in no other way than expected.
Nope.
Self-spin in the fence, lap 20.
Yep.
I mean, or let me lap 50 or something, but...
Yeah. To her, I guess, credit, a lot of good drivers self-spun and crashed.
Exactly.
But
Absolutely. Yeah.
that definitely fits into
It definitely
the
fits the rest of her career at this point. No hate, just telling the truth.
somebody. That's another Tal Davidson comment there. That's actually what started that altercation between Mr. Latham and Tal, which I think we might, if we can rig up call-ins one week, we need to have Corey call in.
Yeah, Justin just said call in with Corey. I would absolutely love to, but our budget is limited and we cannot get a hold of you got to have a certain type of audio equipment to be able to do that. We don't have it yet, but for anybody in here that doesn't know Corey Latham, I'm sure you do. If you're in here listening to us, and if you've been in here long enough to this point,
if you've been in racing long enough, you know who Corey Latham
is. Well, for lack of better words, he had a troll on his Facebook. So just click on. He's in the comments here. So just click on Corey Latham, and for you podcast listeners, audio people, just Facebook Corey Latham. He's the guy that's either holding a camera or a beer or something with a hat on, and Race 22 guy. Click on his page and just go to the post about Danica, and there is, I think, 1,000 comments.
Oh yeah, it's
like
up there.
800 and something. I think it was at.
It's almost as popular as the Free Brandon movement.
Holy hell!
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, I don't want to sit here and waste time even talking about it, but
it's a good read.
It's
Dylan
funny. It's just not the guy that it's about, but just the damn. Just the people that reply to him.
Yeah.
And the one dude that
like
looks
a
like the
soap
guy off
opera.
Talladega
It'll take you
Nights.
hours to read it.
Oh my
Literally
God.
hours.
It took me forever. And
The
it was
best
only
part,
like
the
3
best
hours.
comment on the whole thing, the most relatable one was Robert Tyler commented and said, I was trying to take a quick shit. I've been in here for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much exactly how what we're talking about. But yeah, get some popcorn before you watch it or read it. Sorry,
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
I need to figure out. We need to get Corey Latham and Derek Stoltz. How cool would that be?
Yeah, that'd be
to
an
have at the
interesting
Windshield Deep. You guys would fit right in. We got cold beer, plenty of room to sit around here. I'll have to invest in some more mics, but
We have a full bar behind us.
yeah,
so,
literally right behind us.
soft camera, but we do have a full bar. But
Yeah.
I think now would be a good time. Probably take a quick break.
Yeah, and we're gonna do the giveaway stuff. We're gonna talk more to Brandon, but we're gonna take a really quick break to be gone for like a minute here. So
Yeah, don't go nowhere.
yeah.
Like Dylan said, we have the giveaway stuff. We're going to announce the winner for Anthony Alfredo's first K&N start, signed fender, and then we have some decals to show you guys for the first time ever on the Windshield Deep podcast. We finally had our decal guy make some decals, and they're pretty cool. So that's going to be cool, and we got some other stuff. But real quick, I'd like to thank our sponsors: Carolina SimWorks, Fox Outdoor, Dexter's Detailing, Blondie's Restaurant, One Designs Wraps, and Carolina Custom Golf Carts. We will be right back. Please do not go anywhere, and we'll talk to you guys in just a bit.
Alrighty, back after a quick little break there. Had to go drain the veins and do all that good stuff. But yeah, we talked before we left here about we wanted to do some. We're doing giveaways, and last week we're gonna give away this Anthony Alfredo fender that he tore off, and we have a new what
that he tore off.
Well, he did. It's from his inaugural start. I mean, I got a race car graveyard too.
Everybody does.
Anyway, this is big right here. Okay, this is the unveiling of the new Windshield Deep bumper sticker.
Bumper stickers, you can get them.
Yes. If you look closely, you can tell, but we didn't get any copyright stuff done here. Just pure drawing and no bad stuff.
That's good imagination where you got this picture from.
Yeah. Check it out.
With the nice little cloud.
Looks like the red car's rear tires are off the ground. What's up with that?
Yeah, you can't really see it very well, but it says, say it, Landon.
It says, "Oh my God."
Yep. It says, "Oh my God."
What's the guy in the red car saying?
He's cussing.
Yeah.
I bleeped it out, so you can put it on your kid's car or whatever. And also got plenty of these.
It's G friendly.
Plenty of these also with just the regular logo. So we got a bunch of them. So we're going to give some of those away, but to get one of those, we're going to do Brandon's giveaway for his free Setzer t-shirts later. But we're going to release the details of that. So you'll also get one of these, but we're going to do special giveaways where if you tag us, I haven't thought it through much, but if you tag us with hashtag Windshield Deep and send us a picture of someone going Windshield Deep.
No matter what.
Yeah,
Could be on the street,
it's damn,
guardrail
I'm talking Windshield Deep. We're going to pick our favorite ones from the week, and we're going to give a few away every week. So, starting now, tag us with some stuff, some Windshield Deep moments.
If we like it,
hashtag Windshield Deep.
You're going to get a Windshield
bumper
Deep
stickers.
Yep.
But anyway, we're going to try to avoid that next time, though, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, guy must have just missed the brake pedal.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Crazy shit I ever saw in my life. Anyway, races this weekend. I usually have a big folder here with all my stuff, but I don't know where it is. But anyway, coming up, not necessarily this weekend, but is it next weekend, the Anderson Super Late Model race?
Yeah, it's coming up.
Late Model Stock goes too. I ran that race last year. It was a big super race, though. They do the big super race every year. Isn't it a combination of, is it CRA or Southern Super?
Yeah, it's Southern Super Series.
Okay.
And Car Store.
Okay.
So they'll have a big turnout. It's kind of like the North.
Oh, so,
not really the North
so
versus South.
Speedway's only late models?
Yeah,
Car Store?
they run separate. Yeah.
They don't run limiteds or nothing?
They might. They
Actually,
might run
that
limiteds.
might be a limited deal, just like Tri-County.
Yeah,
and,
I'd like to think so.
I think they might.
Rachel was in here. I don't know if he's still in here or not.
They've got a good.
Yeah.
They've got a good limited count usually there. So.
But the Super race will be Southern Super Series versus Cars Tour guys. So usually they get a bunch of the bubble powered.
Jesus.
A lot of that type
does
guys.
Elbows deep count?
we'll consider anything. But yeah, Bubba Pollard. I think I know he ran the Anderson race last year.
Then you got some of the other guys, the 98 car, the blue 98 that Kenzie used to run.
Yeah, Hamrick drove it some too.
Yeah. Then you got all the Southern guys versus the Jared Fryers, all the Cars Tour guys. So it should be interesting to see who comes out on top there.
Oh, yeah. Well, they can still hear us. I just gotta change the camera out real quick. But anyway, so it's kind of like a north-south shootout, right?
Yeah, in a way, for sure. It's not really the North. It's like the Mid-South or whatever, the North Carolina versus the Deep South.
It was a good race last year. Anderson's a cool track. It's
I
enjoyed it in the late model. I drove that race for Danny Johnson last year, the late model stock portion, and we had a good car, and then we got caught up in a wreck at the end and broke some suspension running 6th or 7th. But the tracks, it's different. It's got long straightaways, really tight corners, but it's not very fast, and it's pretty hard on your tires too.
That's where you bombed a decal that I sent you, right?
Oh yeah. Dylan sent me a Catawba Reclamation decal that was supposed to go on the hood, and he did not put any laminate over top of it.
Okay, it's not laminate; it's transfer tape.
Transfer tape.
I call it sissy tape.
Whatever.
A lot of people use it, but once you decal a lot of stuff, and I'm sure there's a couple people in here that's decaled shit before, it's pretty easy to use it. With the vinyl they have nowadays, you don't really need it. Problem was, Landon didn't put it on until the middle of the day in the sun, and it was all crinkly, and he just stuck it on there, and he said it was terrible. So,
Okay, well, there was like, so the CVR logo, real quick. We don't need to talk about this a lot because it wasn't my fault. A lot of holes, in the decal. So when you put it on, it's really hard without transfer tape to get everything lined up because with one sticks on, there's a huge hole in the decal, so it gets all wrinkled up and shit. And when I put it on, it was hot and it started stretching out, and the C didn't even look like a C anymore. So I just ripped it off and I ran with How to Hood logo. But yeah, long story short, that happened.
Wow.
Dylan, my professional decal guy, wasn't there to put it on, so
Well,
I had to do it.
another thing that's coming up this weekend, I'm pretty sure, actually this weekend, not next, but the Tri-County Limiteds, I believe, race, if I'm not mistaken.
And super trucks.
And the school buses race at Hickory. So they should have a good count at Tri-County. The only problem with that is if you're not a true limited, you can't really race it.
Yeah, it's kind of
you can't run like an enforcer.
Yeah.
I think they've got limits on which is how it should be if you want to have a limited series. Sucks because I don't have an enforcer, so I can't run it. But I would love to run it. I've always wanted to run Tri-County.
Even if you have like a crate, there's a lot of shock changes and stuff that you have to make to be able to go run.
No, yeah. I think I'm pretty sure their shock rule's not that bad. I think Dylan said that last time, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought it was just Pro Shocks, but he said it was like any of that style shock, but still, like, you can't run.
Well, regardless, they are racing this weekend at Tri-County, so if anybody in the Tri-County area misses the racing there,
you have to go beat old Mac Little probably.
Yeah,
he's good.
I don't know. I feel like he probably doesn't fit I think he's got a different motor.
Hard to say. I know they got the super trucks going too.
Yeah,
they usually put on a really good show. Like Ashley Huffman, I know they got a really good super truck.
Probably run that race. I know he usually. I don't know if he still runs a truck, but I used to.
Kenneth
Heaton. Yeah,
he runs
a Red 33 truck.
Yeah, he's from like Dillon area.
He's run
really
that
good.
series for a while.
He's won a track championship in late models at Greenville Pickens, right?
Yeah,
he's good.
So there's quite a bit going on this weekend. Like I said, I usually have a big list, but as far as local stuff for anybody in the area, and I don't go ahead and tell me is Bowman Dray racing this weekend? I'm not sure if they are. Matt Light said Walmart shocks. Okay, so
I know Matt's run the truck series a good bit. He's been real competitive in the truck series. Are you going to be here, Matt?
I think let's see. He's from the Greenville area. Yeah.
Tal Davidson, evidently Tal's a topic of conversation on the
will be hard to beat
comments.
I'm just glad to see
no way
something.
in hell that guy's racing.
No, he's definitely not racing. I'm just glad to.
I'm about to go buy a truck, or at least rent one so Corey can drive it.
Yeah.
I'm just glad to see stuff racing at Tri-County.
Yeah, dude.
Absolutely.
Like I feel like we say it every episode.
It a lot, yeah.
But it's just, I would love to see it back in action. I feel like if they would coordinate a schedule with Hickory to where they ran on different nights, it could be to their benefit instead of competing against each other. Maybe some Fridays.
Even if it's only like an 8-week season.
If they would run like some little deal, like an 8-race deal, like I would love to run the 10-race limited deal at Hickory and then maybe a 10-race deal at Tri-County. Like I would do both in a heartbeat if they would schedule it accordingly.
This is like a real stretch, but if someone were to buy Tri-County and it would become NASCAR sanctioned again, there's no reason why they couldn't work with Hickory to do an 8-week season and then run twins every race. And then they could still be, Motor Mile did the same thing where they only had like a 12-week season, but they ran twins every single week. So like if Tri-County were able to do that, I feel like if they didn't, I mean, some races may have to interfere, but if there's only 8 weekends, you're still getting 16 races out of it. So you can still run for the track championship and it would count for national points. And I know that they would have the car count that Hickory has, I'm sure, if they worked with Hickory on weekends.
If that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like they both kill each other whenever they race on the same nights.
Full time,
or Friday, even if it's Friday and Saturday night deals. That just kind of sucks. So hopefully they can work together one day.
Yeah, there's no better racetrack to actually race than Tri-County. I mean, you got 2 or 3 grooves, especially in the late model stocks. You got enough power to run the top side. Limiteds, you kind of got to run the bottom a little bit, but the top side on the late model stocks and supers.
I've never got to run there. I've watched probably 10 races.
Yeah, you're missing out, man. It's a blast.
It closed down the year I started, I guess.
Yeah.
So 2013, it was like over with.
When it's hot, the track's way more fun. Like the race I won there, the top was the ticket, but when I ran the Cars Tour race this year, the top sucked.
Yeah.
You couldn't run the top at all. It was just a defense mechanism, which is kind of what Hickory is now to a certain extent. But I think that one of the issues at Tri-County was the car we went with, we struggled. I mean, it probably wasn't ready to go run that anyways. We should have worked with it a little bit more before we took it up there. But we had a Chevrolet built motor, and it had a hellacious amount of power compared to like my 604 crate. And I know Barry was talking about it too. I think they took their Enforcer up there. I may be wrong, but I think they did. And they were talking about how there was way too much motor for the track in that situation with the condition that the track was in. Nobody could get hooked up, especially off the bottom. So it just made the racing a little bit different. And it didn't help that the track was coming up in huge giant chunks and going through people's windshields. So
yeah, a piece of asphalt flew up and broke my damn beer bottle in that race. So yeah, Tri-County's produced a lot of awesome races before.
Yeah.
I've watched a few on the YouTube machine. And Corey just said, one of the best races ever was at Tri-County.
Absolutely.
Chris Lawson versus Matt McCall. So that's Matt said he raced against you there and had a big
I
race
actually
sometime.
I actually run Ashley Huffman's truck, the 7 truck, a couple years ago, and we had an awesome race. I think we started on the pole or outside pole or something, and our truck was just a little bit too tight, and we kind of run the high side, and they couldn't pass us on the bottom. So we led like half the race just because we were fighting off the top, and Matt was under us, and we had a heck of a race. And I think they finally had a restart or something. He got by us, and truck just wasn't quite good enough to stay out front, but it was a lot of fun. And Tri-County's got such a racing surface; you can run different lines and move your truck around or car around to find some speed. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, speaking of good races at Tri-County, if you're interested and you have free time, look up the K&M Pro Series race there from 2009. It's the last time the K&M Pro Series went to Tri-County.
K&M went there?
Oh, it is a phenomenal race. It is badass.
Shit, man, I didn't even know that.
Matt DiBenedetto and Austin Dillon raced the hell out of each other for the win. And they were like 3 wide for the win. They had a caution with a couple of laps to go.
So maybe that's our time machine race of the week.
It needs to be
So
because I watched it the other day.
We won't say the winner, but so we don't want to spoil it. But if you want to go watch a good race, go watch the 2009 K&M Pro Series East race at Tri-County.
Yeah, from start to finish, it's a really good race.
That would be awesome.
There's a lot of tire conservation, a lot of side-by-side racing. And back then, now the K&M Pro Series cars are on a radial tire, but then they were on a bias-ply, so they had characteristics of a late model stock, and those boys drove the hell out of those things. So definitely, and there's a lot of big names in that race too. I don't know if Brett Moffitt was in that deal for Michael Waltrip. I think it was Ryan Truex.
Corey LaJoy was probably in it.
LaJoy. There's a whole bunch of names. You just have to go look. And that was when Gibbs had an entry. That's when a lot of the bigger teams had an entry. So that is definitely our time machine race of the week for sure.
Yeah. Like Corey just said, you a race he helped promote there had 27 cars, and you won by about 4 feet. So that's good. You got a win at Tri-County, so that's nice.
Yeah, I know. That was a cool moment for me because at that point I had not won anywhere but Hickory and didn't really race that many other places but Hickory. And to know that Dad won a lot of races there, it was neat to go to Victory Lane there, not knowing how many other races was actually going to take place at Tri-County. But that was a hell of a race. A lot of race cars showed up for that. It was practically a late model race with the people that raced it. We talked about this before. I have no idea how Charlie Watson didn't crash me that night. But he didn't. So it was a fun time. I wish we could do it again for sure.
I remember that time. When my first year racing, I was at Hickory, and it was 2013. I didn't know the gas from the brake pedal for the most part, but I probably finished like 7th out of 20 or some shit, and probably like my 10th race or something. And you and Charlie were pissed at each other, and I remember. You were my age, so we were both 17, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure either you or one of y'all flipped each other off. Or maybe y'all both did. But maybe you flipped him off.
I remember getting into it with Charlie.
And then he bumped you, and I was like, I was a little punk-ass kid. I was like, well, I'm going to beat his ass. And then Charlie got out. I'm like, oh, shit, he's kind of big. I'm going to let Landon handle that himself. So, but Charlie's a really nice, cool dude.
Charlie's like... He's the most nonchalant person you'll ever meet in your life. Yeah. If you've never met Charlie Watson, he's the type of guy that he will run all over your ass on the racetrack. You run all over him, then he'll get out and come down there and throw his arm around you and be like, dude, oh my God, man, that was so much fun.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, Charlie's a good dude.
Yeah,
I like Charlie.
But he's been wild a few times, but I have been too. But yeah, Charlie. Anyways, that race was a really good race. So I wish we had video of that. I haven't even found video of that race. Nobody was recording it, I don't think. I wish I could find video. Dylan Hauser, if you can find that would be really cool if you could share that with us, because that would make for some good footage for not only this, but for Tri-County in general.
Yep. Well, me and Brandon's both got a win at Wake County, too. So
yeah, y'all got me there.
Yep.
I need to go race down there. I wanted to go race at Wake County.
It's a fun place.
After seeing Dylan's Hot Laps episode,
you can't hold a damn candle to that Hot Laps episode.
No.
I probably ran a damn 10-second lap on that deal. I don't know if you've seen that, Brandon, but
No.
You definitely. Well, if you
I have a
watched
simulator set up. Well, I did. It was on NASCAR Racing 2003, and I had Wake County Speedway, and I probably laid down a fastest lap you've ever seen in your life.
There you go.
But
you got to get right next to the wall in one right there. You
yeah,
got to
I
clip
got
the wall.
too close to it and clipped my left front. And
Yeah.
knocked the
got a
toe
little
out.
free getting in.
Yeah, I knocked the toe out the first lap.
Exactly.
Anyway, yeah, that's so Tri-County this weekend. Maybe I'll go check that out. That might be a good one for me and you to go do some on-track interviews or something.
I will be in Memphis, Tennessee, racing
Well,
NASCAR K&N Pro Series, spotting for Anthony
you're
Alfredo.
fired.
I'll be there. I'll be racing Landon. I'll be
Yeah.
helping Spencer Davis in the 82.
Yeah, Brandon's been to almost every single K&N race too.
Almost,
so
yeah.
Well,
almost
I'll
got in
be
a fight with him.
Yeah.
Bristol.
Yeah, Landon was not too happy with us at Bristol.
Not Brandon in particular, the driver more or less. If Brandon
But-
would have come at me, I'd have probably gave him a hug. But
I don't know about that, but
I was upset at the moment. And
talking about a damn good Windshield Deep episode. Imagine if Brandon just ran over full Hickory sprint and just
one-on-one.
yeah.
I don't know. He went Cole Custer at Hickory. You remember Cole Custer in the truck when he
tackled.
ran out onto the
Who's that,
track?
Nemechek?
Cole Custer completely missed though.
He still hit him.
But
He
Cole Custer
tackled
had a
him.
target.
No, he tackled him.
He
yeah.
tackled Nemechek,
Oh,
right?
that's right.
Yeah.
With the checkered flag in hand, he
Yeah.
fucking tackled him.
I will say,
If
Yeah.
Nemechek was
you
smart,
had
he should have sidestepped.
you play
Yeah.
a lot of Madden, don't you?
No.
I mean, you
Sprint.
threw a
No.
couple of quick shimmies in
Little
there.
L1,
Yeah.
R1 action.
You got just a couple,
Yeah.
couple of quick little half juked and then full juked.
Yeah.
I mean, it was good stuff. I thought he put on his PF Flyers, but he did have his racing shoes on, so must have been hot in that cockpit. Had to get out quick.
But anyways,
Yeah, but,
we got a good race at Memphis going on.
yeah.
here.
Yeah, okay. So
I think it should be good.
Yeah, back to Memphis K&N. So Memphis is, if I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the racetrack. It used to be a staple on the Truck Series schedule, and it raced every single year. I think Xfinity raced there for a while. I believe Brad Kozlowski won the last race there in like 2009.
That's an asphalt or
It's concrete,
okay,
isn't it? Or is it asphalt?
That's what I was wondering.
I've never
feel
been
like
there.
it might be a
I
concrete
honestly
track.
have
I
no
feel
clue.
like it may be concrete.
Is Memphis
but
concrete?
I may be wrong.
Someone answer.
Somebody would know. Corey probably knows.
Regardless, it's been off the NASCAR schedule for a little while, and then last year, the K&N Pro Series went back there, and they only had like 12 cars. So Memphis is a pretty big track. Like, it's a track that would be comparable to a Richmond of a smaller scale, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a National Series track at one point in time. So these are tracks that these kids that are spending a lot of money already
Yeah.
could spend money to get valuable experience on a larger track. Granted, it's not one that the larger series run on now, like a Loudon or a Richmond or something like that. But still, only 11 cars or 12 cars to show up was kind of disappointing for me. So now, this
Concrete.
year,
It is concrete.
okay, yeah, it's gonna be hotter than Hades there too. It's like
Yeah.
97 degrees is the temperature prediction. And my dad said back when they raced the Truck Series there, it was by far the hottest race ever.
Yeah.
Really?
Pop
yeah.
said the same thing. He said that was brutal.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
high humidity, stagnant air.
Yeah.
It's hot. But hopefully they have more than 12 cars this week. And I feel like we'll probably have 15 or so.
I think so.
Kind of like what we had at Langley.
Yeah, I think so.
And with Spencer, like I said, he doesn't race every single week. So with him coming, that'll add another one. And then DGR always has 2 cars. MDM will bring a car.
Ankrum Racing. I guess.
Ankrum, yeah, he's one of the
Bassett's
DGR
always
cars.
got 2 cars.
Bassett's have 2 cars.
Yeah,
Rev has
it'll be a
3.
good field. The quality is field. The guys that's going to run up front are going to be there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I mean, you might miss a couple of the back markers, but the guys that are going to race for the win are going to be there.
Also, on topic of the K&N series, real quick.
Oh, he lied. He said it might be asphalt. He said he didn't really know, but God dang, let me just look it up.
Well,
y'all keep
Dylan
talking.
is so sidetracked right now.
I was referring to the concrete or asphalt situation.
Yeah.
The K&N series, I'm going to ask you this, Brandon. So, a couple weeks ago at South Boston, that was probably the worst race I've ever watched in my entire life, the first race.
Yeah.
The quality of racing was so bad that it made me question, NASCAR as a NASCAR's developmental series.
Well, fuck, I mean, frig, dude, I can't.
Do you feel like,
That's asphalt, right?
what do you feel like it looks like concrete? It's so old that it's asphalt concrete, but
I think it's asphalt.
yeah, it is.
It looks like concrete there, but
Yeah, it's just like Myrtle Beach sandy type asphalt.
God dang.
What do you feel like is causing that type of racing to be prevalent right now in the K&N series?
Man, I don't know. Yeah, I think it's a combination of things. It's, honestly, I don't know. It's a tough deal. I mean, these guys are going for it, like lap after lap, like lap 10 on the K&N race. These guys are going for it. I mean, just like it's last lap of the of the race coming to checkers. It's like these guys don't give room. I don't know.
I think a lot of it is, I don't think this is an unpopular opinion. I think it's just the truth. I think a lot of the problem in the K&N series right now is we no longer have those Eddie McDonald's, those people that race in the series for multiple years or, made a living in the series, because that used to be a thing. We no longer have those guys running every week, and I think that added some veteran tenacity to the series as a whole.
Back in the day, the Hooters Pro Cup pretty much rivaled.
Yeah.
I mean, it was basically like
equivalent of
Yeah,
the two.
okay.
Yeah. So I feel like now it's all, kids, which is okay because it's made to be a stepping stone. But, a lot of these kids don't really understand, I guess they don't value the cars as much. They're not working on them every single week.
Exactly.
With the Bassett's aside, I mean, they probably work on their own stuff.
Anthony seems to be a good kid as well. He seems like he's always there hanging out and stuff. So
Who,
that's
Anthony?
Awesome. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that's
Anthony's
cool
for
to-
sure.
Cool.
Anthony's
a
always in
good
the shop.
kid.
He does a good
even
job.
knew how to use tin snips to cut out this this fender that we're going to give away in just a minute.
Yeah, so I think that's probably what's hurting the series right now is we just don't have enough of those seasoned veterans.
Agreed.
And they're all kids that are like in the series for 1 year and that's it. And they're just racing the hell out of each other for no reason.
Like
Yeah,
the
and then
West
Spencer
Series.
Davis is the same deal. I mean, he's for a while, it was just me and him working on it in the shop.
Spencer too, yeah.
I mean, he works his butt off
and
for sure.
You guys
but
don't have very many people either.
yeah, I mean, it's just me and him basically, and we got a guy who sets it up basically and take it to the track. We got a crew chief, and but there is so many guys that just show up and do their own deal and just show up with their driving suit and wreck it and can go home.
I got a
Whatever, don't
funny-
mean nothing to them.
Funny story here about Spencer. Not about Spencer, but about somebody who works on Spencer's stuff. So at South Boston, as we talked to Anthony last week, we ended up wrecking in the first race, and we absolutely destroyed our car. So we cut the nose off of it, cut the ass off of it. Everything's laying in the pit area, and the entire nose is laying there. So if anybody watching knows who Jeff McClure is, we refer to him as Jabbo. That's what most people know him by. He crew chiefed my ARCA debut in 2016. Absolute phenomenal dude. Works his ass off in everything he does.
That was
But
our
he
crew chief.
He
at
has
South
a way
Boston.
about him and a way he does stuff. So he was crew chiefing Spencer at South Boston. Spencer ended up getting in a wreck, knocked the right front of his car off. I'm still in the spotter stand because they won't let me across the racetrack. And I watch Jabbo walk out of Spencer's pit, walk all the way down to our pit, goes over to our nose that we cut off of our wrecked race car, looks at it, looks back at his car, walks away, comes back with some snips, cuts a piece of the right front fender off the nose and a fender brace, like allotment of fender braces that was still intact, takes it back, rivets it to the fender of Spencer's car during the race, tapes that damn thing on there, and Spencer goes back out with a piece of our right front fender on his race car.
See, I had no clue that was yours. They said that was McReynolds.
No.
They thought that was McReynolds. I guess it's kind of the same paint scheme.
Yeah, took it directly off of our broke nose. I mean, we weren't doing nothing about it, but I just thought, that damn Jabo. That was the funniest thing I've ever
awesome.
seen.
I had no
was
clue.
Rolling. And then, so if you see a picture of Spencer's car after he wrecks, it has a piece of a black fender
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah,
That was
where it come from.
well. All you see is the Bondo that's covering it. You don't see none of the fender. You just see the Bondo that's over. And that was in between race 1 and race 2.
Okay, so I couldn't remember if it was during the race or not, but yeah.
Oh, that was a mad thrash in between the races. We worked for 30 minutes dead straight
that was
trying to
probably
fix that
the
thing.
funniest thing I seen all weekend for sure.
We had it all flared out. She was pretty mean.
Yeah, that's you get so many stories from racing, and it's cool that we're just now in our early mid-20s here, so we've got a pretty good ways to go. Hopefully, them straighten her out a little bit, but for the most part, we should have a good few more years and making memories in racing. And there's nothing like sitting there talking with your dad or some crew guys about stories that they had. Like, I'm sure Dad has plenty, and our dad's in the Dash Series and stuff like that, and my grandpa in the Dash Series with Hope and stuff like that. And
God, Hope went to the track with my dad a lot too. We need to. We always talk about that, about getting Dennis and your dad and my dad and your grandpa, everyone in here sat down.
Absolutely, just
we've
come
got
over
to
and
do
hang
that.
out for a little bit.
Yeah,
That
and
would be,
record a special segment of the Windshield Deep podcast. I think that would be interesting for sure.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna go to the Q&A. Did you? Well, anyway, Landon, if you want to.
Did he jerk it out?
Yeah, he jerked out the cord here, but
Well,
if you want to sign off our audio part.
All right, guys. Well, this has been episode 13 or 14. I'm not exactly sure. For everybody that's in the Facebook Live area right now, hang tight because we're going to do a Q&A after this. But if you are a podcast listener, thank you so much for tuning in tonight or today or this morning or whenever you're listening.
Yeah.
This is the Windshield Deep podcast. My name is Landon Huffman, Dylan Wilson. With me here and our special guest, Brandon Setzer. Thank you to all of our sponsors that help make this happen. Carolina Simworks, Fox Outdoor, Good Old Dexter's Detailing, Blondie's Restaurant, One Designs Wraps, and Carolina Custom Golf Carts. You are listening to the voice of grassroots racing. We will see you guys next time, and we're out.
But, of course, we're still not done with Facebook. We never are.
Heck yeah.
We'd like to do a little, if you're not familiar with it, we do a little hangout. We try to post the somewhat censored audio version. That way the general public can listen to it. But as for now, there's no rules on the Q&A session. So if anybody's been dying to ask Brandon some questions about his situation that he wants to answer,
Here we go.
if anybody wants to ask us any questions about what we've been, please, God, ask us something.
I'm sure Nicholas Payne has plenty of questions to ask. He's already been texting me.
We can't answer every one of them,
It's got to be within reason, but I mean, no, extremely.
But earlier we did get a question. I'll go ahead and start off with this one from David here. He said, "What's y'all's opinion on what happened to those huge limited fields at Hickory back in the day?" By back in the day, I don't know exactly when you mean. I mean, I know back in the 90s they had big fields, but honestly, right now the limited fields are really good. I mean, we have 24 plus cars a week, and that's really solid for a limited deal.
I was gonna say that right now it's been crazy good.
Absolutely, like we probably have the best or the highest car count in limiteds probably in the area, if not
the southeast,
the whole southeast. So
I will say
there's some good limited racing at Hickory, and that's not me being biased. That's me literally. There's a lot of cars. So.
Outside of this year, I think the largest the field has been in my recollection, or since I've been paying attention to Hickory Motor Speedway, was around 2012, 2013 when I was running limited. The last year of the Goodyear tires, so I believe that was 2012.
Because I showed up the next year, and we still had a good count.
Yeah, we still had 15 to 20 cars.
It died
every
off
week.
in 15.
But in 2012, there was probably at least 20 limiteds there every single week. I mean, there would be 25 cars show up for a 35 lap feature.
Yeah.
And now we're starting to see that more often, but I think a lot of that too, like we talked about, is the fact that kids younger than 14 can run. So.
Which I don't think is a bad thing in limited. I mean, that's where they need to start. Limited's a good spot for that.
At first, I will say I was really nervous about it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a 12-year-old racing out there.
Yeah.
2 of them, I think.
Well, I think you got to have good guidance. I mean, you look at some of the younger kids, like Dexter Knight's taking care of one of the younger kids.
Yeah,
like,
and that's he's one of the youngest ones. His name's Gage Painter, and I talked to his dad and him, Gage himself. And Gage is a young little kid.
Yeah.
But he drives just as good as anybody else out there. So it's really cool. It's weird. It's scary. I can't lie. I mean, I'm 22 years old. I'm not that old. I'm not that experienced. But when I first heard that we were not going to be NASCAR sanctioned anymore as far as limited goes, as far as the points goes, and also there was going to be 12-year-olds racing, you can't blame me for being like, what the hell? You know, what do you mean? Why do I still have to buy my NASCAR license in? But obviously that's all for insurance reasons, and these kids are fine. They're not the problem. So yeah, it's cool. They've got to start somewhere, like you said. Hell, you get in the truck series now at 16 years old, so you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So they asked for it. So they shall receive. You're seeing that's why the car counts are higher now, because they dropped the age lower. So maybe more tracks need to do that. Looks like you're getting some
Cup
good
star.
Favorite future Cup star?
Lassard or Davidson?
That's a good one.
That's pretty good. Pretty good question.
As much as I hate to say it, I think Lassard has a better chance.
Lassard probably has a better chance. He will wreck them to win them, no
Yeah.
question about it.
Yeah, at least Lassard will. At
least
least
he has
Lassard
the-
races.
At least he had the speed to do it.
Anyway,
Yeah, I believe you have to like actually physically race to be considered in that category.
and we don't sit here and talk shit about people very often, but,
No, but
if you
sometimes
bring it on
it's
yourself that
definitely
bad,
justified.
but
Yeah,
Probably
remember
deserves
this is all publicity, so we're doing
All right.
good.
It's good publicity.
Helping him out.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
solid.
don't think that guy knows what publicity
I mean,
is.
I don't know about you guys, but we are talking about the #1 most famous and popular late model stock driver in the area.
That buys his followers.
Yeah,
But
who also has
anyway, if you
20,000
want to do that, we're
bucks.
gonna try not to name names as much as we can, but just go look at Corey Latham's Facebook. You're hard to miss.
Latham will fill you in.
Someone, Chris asked, what was your favorite race of the weekend? F1, Indy, or Cup?
Oh God, definitely the Cup race probably.
I mean, them guys race the shit out of each other.
The Cup
It's such
race
a
was-
long race that they can only do so much, but
The racing was good.
really was.
The
It was a
package
good
was
race.
good. Now, it wasn't like all-star racing, which they were all on top of each other racing Goodies Dash style. But the racing for a Cup race, going 200 miles an hour at the end of a straightaway, I think that aero package was probably the best. Now, I will say that the VHT, I think, played a huge factor in why the racing was good. Now, normally I'm not a fan of the VHT.
yeah.
But I feel like, it made the top a prevalent choice.
Yeah.
And I think even on restarts,
Especially on restarts, yeah.
And not to mention, if Kyle Busch would have been a 10th slower, it would have been a race of the year probably.
Yeah.
That's just all it comes down to.
Yeah, he was
one
good.
time, Kyle was just dominant. It seems that's been the story of Charlotte lately. There's been one guy that really freaking figures it out.
Yeah.
So
The Indy race I didn't feel like was as good as
Indy
years
race
past.
pretty much sucked.
Like
for
they
the most
couldn't,
part.
they didn't have enough downforce. They just spun out.
Yeah, I don't know why why would you take that much downforce away
Yeah.
from them?
I mean, they were just trying something different. They were trying to make the.
It's a
I don't
hell
know
of a
what they
race
were.
to try something though,
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah, but they just spun out. The Monaco race, I think, from what I had read, I didn't watch it, but from what I had read from Lewis Hamilton, like they put too soft of a tire and they kind of rode around saving tires like a Myrtle Beach race.
Yeah,
That's what it sounded
yeah.
like.
I got to watch. That's the first time I've watched Monaco from start to finish, and it sounds stupid, but usually it's so early in the morning I don't watch it. But
I didn't even get to watch any of it.
Yeah, I didn't
I watched the whole thing, and it's a special event. It really is.
I watched it a couple of years ago.
A crazy thing about it's a good race. I mean, it's not the greatest race ever. If you enjoy road course racing and strategic road course racing, you would enjoy it. But if you want to see them race the hell out of each other, then it's not for you. And typically, I like seeing people race the hell out of each other.
Exactly.
I also read something that said 1 out of every 52 people there is worth over $50 million. Or maybe $30 million. One out of every 50 people is worth over $30 million that live in Monaco.
Oh, I started to say that is definitely not accurate for the entire population of North Carolina anyway.
No, I'm talking about Monaco.
Okay, yeah.
Negative.
In Monaco, 1 out of every 50 people is worth over $30 million. That is crazy. I guess...
Jason
live
says,
I need to
you
scroll
think
down.
all the Cup Series, do you think the Cup Series will ever come to Iowa? He said he lives in Iowa, and he's a big fan.
I I think that would probably be their next.
That's
place.
the next edition.
I think that's the next track.
Honestly,
so
I'm
stay
surprised
put.
we don't have it yet.
Yeah, that's like Harvick talks about moving to short tracks or whatever. That's the next step.
Yeah,
I mean that's a good not short track but close to short track where they're actually going to race
it's
like
a
short
Richmond.
tracks.
Yeah, it's a Richmond style, but I think the racing honestly is better at Iowa than it is at Richmond.
Exactly. I think it'd be a great stop for the Cup.
Corey said Carteret County 15,000 to win limited race. Going to be worse than Martinsville Limiteds. What's your thoughts on the 15,000 to win?
And Carteret's a tough place.
I've never been there. Me and my guys, I say my guys, me and my dad and my friend Brent have talked about going there, and I would love to do it. I would love to go race for $15,000. I feel like I'm one of the more experienced limited drivers in the area, so I feel like I would have a good opportunity to do it. I would be racing against people like Mac and Cheeseburger.
A lot of your late model guys are probably
and Ross Dalton and Boo Boo, all them guys. But the thing is there's going to be a lot of late model guys, like you just said. So I think that hopefully maybe they'll put some rules in place, man. If you've won a lot of late model races, maybe you shouldn't be allowed to run it.
It seems like whenever they put a big limited show on, it usually ends up in a bunch of crashes. Like Myrtle Beach, they put the big limited show on, it usually is a bunch of crashes. Tri-County Cars Tour, they put pretty big money up. They wreck the heck out of them. I hope Carteret's not the same way. I'm kind of scared it's going to be.
I feel like it might be a wreck fest. And I don't know, the science as to why. I guess just more inexperienced drivers out there. Cheaper cars, they don't really give as much of a shit.
I mean, how often do these guys get to race for that type of money?
True.
Yeah.
So
Hickory, you race for what, $600?
Yeah. They go for gaps that don't exist.
That's big.
So
yeah.
Hopefully it goes well, but I haven't made a decision as to if I'm going to go yet. I guess I'm going to play the entry list. I mean, obviously, if Dean McCaskill and Josh Berry and people like that are there, no, I'm not going to go with my limited car. But if it seems like a field, and call me a pussy if you want to, but if it seems like a field that I feel like that I can compete with, if it's guys that actually race limiteds that I feel like I could compete with, then I would 100% do it for sure. So I've never ran there, so I'm definitely under the 8 ball for sure, and it seems like a very tough track, but
it's flat. I've never been there
and
before,
I feel like the wall coming off of 2 really creeps up on you. And
the facility is awesome, though. I will say that
the facility is awesome.
Yeah,
the track is super flat, not much grip, and it's got a big bump, like in late center or 2. Yeah, one time at late model stock.
Really?
We're not very good. It's definitely a top-notch facility. Like the old stuff that he's got, the 76 balls and all that kind of stuff is really cool. But it's definitely a tricky racetrack for sure.
Yeah, it definitely seems tough. Let's find another question here. Yeah, $30 million, that will buy a lot of tires. So I believe we would
Don't doubt that.
I know a guy that could use that if he's going to be Cup in 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
Chris, the 27 car is just an old Tim Richmond diecast, and Dylan is he tries to shadow his inner Tim Richmond as much as possible. So.
Nah. Well, actually, what's underneath this is our. This holds my platform I built. I built the platform crooked. I had a few liquor drinks, and I made a microphone platform. And what you see here is a big sack of lead. So, and it's got a hole in it. So you really, there went one. So it's kind of. So I thought it kind of hit it if I put this die cast. I usually put it on my. I usually put it on my desk to bring out my morning motivation. But probably not the best motivation to take as far as personality-wise. Maybe driving style, but probably should avoid some things. Let's see what we got here. Any more questions coming in? And what do you guys? I know there's a lot of racers in here, so what do you guys think about Carteret coming up? I mean, that's.
Will the lights be there if Matt Light is still in here? Because
Corey's right. He said it's a damn car. Everyone has to pass tech and drive, but still, it's tough to. Car's a car. You're 100% right on that. But my car is a 2001 car, and some other cars aren't that are usually racing late models. I feel like you have more of a chance if you're racing against other limiteds. If you've got an older car that you don't put much money into. So, but regardless, my main goal is to get back to where I can run late models all the time, to where we're finishing good enough and have a good enough program where I can afford to go out there and finish 8th one week and win the next week. So,
Man, Dylan, they got a bar in the infield at Carteret.
They do.
well, looks like I'm doing a spot for somebody. So if anybody needs a spotter, definitely not driving.
Yep.
Actually, maybe if I do not race that race, that might be a hell of a race for us to do cover, because I feel like there will be some bigger. I feel like obviously race 22 will probably be there. Speed 51, I'm sure will be there.
Yeah.
But I feel like nobody's gonna like really live cover it. So maybe
Windshield Deep could go.
Maybe we could do a little live coverage.
Get a little coverage going.
Yeah, maybe we should. Well, obviously we can't afford to pay anybody to do that, but we can. Maybe we could do a meetup at the bar. They got a bar in the infield, you say?
Windshield, a WD crew meetup, meet and greet tweet deck.
Yeah. So all three of you that show up?
Yeah.
You damn right. We don't have a good time.
I'll come hang out.
Yeah. But,
not many people know this, but I'm gonna talk about this real quick since we still have a good amount of people in here. This may be something new to you guys. It's a shame we didn't have this show going during this time of all of this taking place, but me and Dylan have actually fielded a Crashorama car at Hickory Motor Speedway, and this was a full-fledged operation. Like, this wasn't just your average. At the time, I was racing late model stock, and I had a sponsor, which was Schranch Used Parts and Cars, and they sponsored me for the full year at Hickory in 2014. And part of the sponsorship was they gave us a ride for the Crashorama. So, of course, me and Dylan decided we wanted to be co-crew chiefs, and decided we didn't feel like it was fitting enough for us to drive it. So we put our ex-producer, RJ Williams, in the seat. He no longer comes to our shows. I don't know why. He just decided it wasn't worth his time, I guess.
Yeah.
Who now races a Renegade at Hickory. See, we propelled his racing career, as far as I'm concerned. But we fielded a car, and we won, and we brought home a trophy that night in the skid plate race.
Heck yeah.
And then we were high on our horses and thought we was going to give her another shot. Brought her home from Hickory, put a late model nose on it. This was a Mazda 626 from
Dude, you missed the
2003.
best part of the story, though.
Oh,
The
okay.
celebration.
Yeah.
Not our celebration.
I'll let you talk about that real quick.
No, just RJ's. When he got out. So you won the skid plate race, which was, just a magical moment.
It was phenomenal. It's probably one
it
of the
was a
greatest
lot of
moments of my racing
pressure
career.
on him, and we worked really hard. We sold T-shirts. I bought a heat press machine, made my own T-shirts, and we sold out within 10 minutes. It seemed like
we were the number 159, and we called ourselves the 159 Posse.
Okay, but the reason we was the 159 Posse because at the time I was number 84 and Landon was 75, so add those two together, it's 159. So we was the 159 Posse. So we made shirts and thought we were, the shit.
Oh yeah.
And had about 2 wins between us in our careers at the time, and I guess we had a little more, but anyway, I was fresh off of my first career win, I believe, maybe a couple. I maybe had won Wake County too, and you'd won a few that year, your first late model win. So like we was, the 159 Posse was really on the rise. So we had some fans, like they were buying shirts and shit.
We sold out of our shirts, and me and Dylan were like, "Oh hell yeah,
man, we gotta
This
go
is the
buy
ticket."
more
Yeah.
and make more." So we left in Tyler Reddick's Mustang.
Yeah.
And we left, got back to your house, made 100 more damn
Yeah.
T-shirts.
Come back, didn't sell a damn
Sold
one.
about 3 more. I still have every one of them. Use most of them as shop rags now. But it was because everybody already went in the track. We sold out when everybody was like getting there, but everybody was already in there, so kind of didn't work out. So regardless,
RJ won the skid plate race, and to make a long story short, he got out. He done this hellacious burnout. There's smoke going everywhere.
oh man, it's a mean
Me and
burnout.
Dylan, we all stood up on top of the wall, and you got to remember too, Crashorama. There's 5,000 people at Hickory Motor Speedway.
The most
so
packed.
This was
I mean, it
insane.
looked like Bowman Gray. At
Never
Hickory.
seen this place like this ever in my entire life. And we were standing up on the wall while he was doing his burnout. RJ got out of the car, stood up on top of the car, threw his hands up in the air. When he jumped off, his feet went straight out from under him, and his ass hit the ground
RJ
so
is a
hard.
little guy.
Yeah.
Jeez. So he's on top of this car. I mean, say he's parked on the track, just got doing the burnout. He's on top, and he's just celebrating like hell. And he jumps off, and like his legs gave out as soon as he hit the ground, and he just went straight to his ass.
And the whole crowd says,
a big old.
"Oh!"
Yeah, it was everybody's cheering, and
And then he
he
gets
got
up and fist bumps.
And then it's like, yeah. It was like a movie. Like, it was the greatest shit ever. And we was all laughing so hard, we was crying. Everybody's like, are y'all really this emotional winning this crash drama? I was like, no, I can't stop crying because the guy just broke his ass bone on the front stretch.
We got a trophy and everything, though.
Yeah.
So then after that, we put a late model nose on it, and we thought we were big shit. So we were going to take RJ to this Enduro at a...
dirt track,
what?
right?
Yeah, what was it?
Like 311 or something?
No. It was like the most redneck dirt track in the... Like, you have to go through a trailer park to get to Antioch. Antioch. Yeah. So they had this huge Enduro at Antioch, and we show up, and there's like 4 fans in the stands, and they're screaming and yelling. And RJ gets out on the racetrack, and we are like 8 seconds off the pace. Like, there's people flying around us in V8s, like just dogging us. RJ come off of 4. This was the end of her. He come off of 4, got crossed up. High-speed wobbles back and forth. Stuck her head on the outside wall on the front stretch, munched the whole front end. I thought RJ was going to die that night. There was cars flying by him, and you got to think, there was like no safety equipment in this car at all. Like, we welded the door shut and put a 5-point safety harness in it, and that was about it. And
with the stock seat.
And that was in. He didn't finish the race. We got towed off the racetrack, and I don't know where that car is now. So
I thought it was still at your house.
Nope, it's no longer there.
Damn. Well, that's
I think somebody took it to the junkyard.
But I guess now would be, we need to give away this stuff real quick. And this week we've already selected the winner, done the drawing for the Anthony Alfredo right front fender from his K&N debut. And the winner of that is Bill Fender. Bill, you have won this, so if you're in here, congratulations. If not, then just when you see this, message us. Try to message us soon, because if not, we're going to have to give it to somebody else. But I feel like you're probably in here. I think I seen you earlier.
If for anybody that doesn't know the way we do it, we take all the names that share and tag the 2 friends on the Facebook
and have
post.
to like our page as well.
Yeah,
So
and like Windshield Deep. I go through that, and I take all the names, put them in a randomizer. It's random.org. And I hit enter one time. The name that pops up at the very top is the name we choose.
That's our winner. And this week it was Bill Fender.
We're going to do giveaways like that pretty much every week. We're going to try to. I think Brandon's got a couple of free Brandon shirts that we're going to give away.
Brandon's currently taking care of some personal business.
In the bathroom.
Once he gets back, we're going to give away, or we're going to announce his giveaway for his shirts that he has, his free Setzer shirts, or free Brandon shirts. And which also comes with one of these delightfully pretty decals.
Yep. Also going to get a decal with it. So we talked about the giveaway.
Yeah. What's your plan on that? You're giving away one shirt. I guess you'll just let them pick the size once you figure out the winner.
How do you want to do it? We'll let you choose how you want to do it.
Yeah, what do they need to share? Like, what pages do you want them to like and share and all that?
Yeah, so we'll give away 2 free Brandon shirts. Just like
decals with them.
Yep, decals with them with the Windshield Deep right here.
Yeah, the oh my god.
Oh my god, I don't even know where they got this idea from. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
It's crazy. The colors of the cars just
just match up. And I like the little comments
I feel
there.
Like you might have said something like that.
I mean,
it's not you. And
yeah, I don't know where that come from, but I would imagine if the guy's tires are off the ground getting in the corner, he would probably say something like that.
That's a Windshield Deep moment.
Yeah, but we'll give 2 free Brandon shirts away. However you guys give them away. I don't know.
Typically, so it's easy for we'll post it again, but just for anybody in here that's curious how we do it, we always post a picture afterwards. We'll post a picture of the shirts, the decals, whatever, and all you got to do is like that post, share that post, and tag 2 friends.
There you go.
For that's all Windshield Deep stuff, but we got to mix in Brandon too. So you also need to like Brandon. You want to do your racing page on Facebook?
Yeah, it's just like Brandon Setzer Racing on Facebook.
Yeah, it's really that's literally just it. Just Brandon Setzer. So you also need to like, and we'll tag it on the post.
Yeah, we'll tag a link.
So all you gotta do is go. So just make sure you like it as well, and we'll get him to post it on his racing page as well. So we will hopefully have a lot of entrants for that. And so make sure you like Windshield Deep, and if you want to figure out if you won, you got to tune in next week. We always make you watch the whole thing and then give it away at the end. Yeah, really smart marketing there.
Yeah.
But anyway, we have, if you want to buy one, I don't really know. We don't have nothing set up yet, but if you're local, you can always come to One Designs or Hickory or Blondie's Restaurant, or you can meet up at Landon. They are cool. Go ahead and give them a good close view again.
We got a couple of different. Hold on a second. We got this one, and then we have just a standard Windshield Deep logo right there.
Yeah, right here. Just like you see at the top of the screen.
It's a standard Windshield Deep.
Really, just simple. Just this, just like you see right up here. So, and then also the other decal, which you'll see it up close and see what it looks like on the giveaway post. So, yeah, that's got a lot of giveaways. We've had a lot of, probably our best episode viewership wise. We have a lot of people concurrently viewing and having a good time. Got to meet Brandon. I'm sure most of you already knew him, but it's really cool to get a friend, because I haven't really got to see you since the whole thing went down.
Yeah,
so it's cool to
I'm gonna show this real quick.
This is pretty raw as far as talking about it. But here's a good up close view.
There you go.
Yeah, as you can see,
All jacked up.
There's some writing on it. The car is jacked up. Yeah. Well, it's on manual focus, so. But anyway, yeah, that's the deal. A couple super late models. One's black, one's red, one's getting dumped. I don't know. It's crazy. But yeah, all you got to do is we'll name all the requirements for the what's it called? The giveaway. Sorry,
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought there. I was trying to read stuff.
Like I said, we'll do that every single week. If you tuned in tonight for the first time, we'd love to have you back next week. I know a lot of you guys came because Brandon was on, so hopefully you enjoyed it. And we've talked about this before, but I'd like to have Brandon back on, at some point throughout the year.
Well, he's a local guy, so it's
easier,
remotely easy to get him on, and he relates to everything we talk about. So we don't really like doing it without a host. It's so much more fun like that.
Also, we need to start doing some special segments. We need to go golf or something and record it, or I feel like we just need some stuff to post throughout the week so that people can interact with the page, not only just on the show day.
Yeah.
So we'll be looking into that. It's took us a little while. We finally do have our decals. You can hit me up on my personal page if you want to buy one. I don't even know, Dylan, how much are they going to be?
Probably just a couple bucks at the most, and we will ship. We'll have to charge shipping, but we have a PayPal account, so we'll get all that linked up. If anybody's interested in buying a few of them, if you want to buy some or donate a little bit, we'll send you several of them, and they're cool. They don't really correlate to any certain driver. It's just Windshield Deep. It's kind of a cool thing to put on your car. These have our faces on them. I'm going to make some without that because nobody wants to see that shit probably, so we'll just put some Windshield. Windshield Deep's a cool name. You can kind of correlate that to anything. So, So
Nick Payne also said, I'll let Brandon answer this real quick because Chris Marshall's in here, but he said, Chris said hot laps again. So we need to do another hot laps episode.
Oh, A Speedway's coming up, so we might need to show them how to get around Ace.
That would be good.
What we got? Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're froze up a little bit here, but we'll be back in just a second. They can still hear us, so you can keep talking.
So I'll let Brandon answer this question. Chris said, Brandon, do you have any NASCAR plans moving forward? Anything that you've been working on or anything? What would you like to be doing, in the next little bit?
Honestly, all three of us would love to be in the Truck Series or K&N Pro Series or whatever, but
the UFC,
whatever. Hey, whatever.
Sorry, I had to do it. Everybody want to be saying it.
We all know it takes cubic dollars. So that'd be a great plan. But we see Jesse Little go out there and do a self-funded team, whatever, run really good, but at the end of the day, he doesn't get much notoriety out of it. He doesn't get any sponsors out of it.
You probably have to spend your whole life savings to do it.
Yeah,
to even do what he's doing.
He's finally made a little headway.
So Jesse's like friggin' inspiration for all of us, but at the end of the day, he's not getting a Xfinity ride or he's not getting a full-time truck ride out of it. So it's great that he's running competitive and running up front, but he's still not getting where he needs to be. So
well, we did our own short track next deal. They do the NASCAR Next thing. We didn't really come up with a name for it, but
we called it Windshield Deep Short Track Next.
That's way too long. So
that's the NASCAR Next is no different.
The Windshield
work,
Next.
It's pretty long. You can make a cool logo out of that. It's long, but you can make a cool logo. Anyways, you were selected as part of our Short Track Next.
Be honored.
Cool.
Let's ask Brandon this. Would you run a sticker on your car like a winter sticker if we made a Short Track Next logo with the windshield deep with the WD in it.
I mean, he might run at least a windshield deep one. I don't know about the windshield deep.
I would do
next.
that.
Oh
yeah.
no, you gotta run the next.
The
year's
windshield
selected
next.
We didn't even
sticker.
make it a big deal. It was just like on a fly. I was like, man, who would you pick as your? So we need to like
Yeah,
at
we
least
need to,
damn.
we need to post like a.
We should
little
do
graphic
driver
of everybody's-
profile. Oh, here's an idea.
There you go.
We could do driver profiles for each guy we pick. Go like film a video with them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did we
There
pick
you go.
any half famous people?
We
picked,
had
who we did? Repco, Brandon. See, the
Smith.
problem is I don't even know who the hell's in our deal now. Chandler
wrote it
Smith,
down.
Brandon, Repco, Millington.
Ryan Millington
Yep.
There was somebody else.
Sam Meyer. was
Josh
one.
Berry. You got to pick Josh Berry. Come on now.
No, it was like younger.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, people who haven't really got.
Haven't got an opportunity yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who we expect
Yeah,
to
okay.
run late models for a few more years. That's
Yep.
gonna win a lot. Which
Sam Mayer.
Josh is like kind of the Kyle Busch of late models right now. So it's
Yeah,
like
Josh
you
didn't
can't
really fall in that
consider him.
category because I feel like he could at any moment.
Yeah, he's
Yep.
like power
Get an
rankings in the
Xfinity deal,
nation.
yeah.
He's like 1, 2, or 3.
Yep.
probably,
You got
so.
Millington, Justin Carroll, Sam
Carroll was
Mayer.
one. Yeah,
Carroll
Carroll was one
that's
we
right.
picked.
Justin Carroll is
Yep,
definitely on
yep.
there.
I think that was probably. I think we
Justin
did
was
5
in
or
here
6.
earlier, and he had a pretty neat little video come out. So go check that out. Too.
Yeah,
I've
we
seen that.
were
That was,
watching that earlier.
Yeah.
yeah, we tuned in. It's like, man, look at here. We was
Yep.
looking for the Tory Latham post and strolled across the your face. So we clicked on it and viewed it, and it was a pretty good little deal. That's neat. Hope the Kawicki development deal comes in. And speaking of Kawicki, he's inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame now, as well as Davey Allison. There's about 3 other ones too. Jack Roush,
Gordon got
Jack
in.
Gordon
Roush,
was
Jeff
in.
Gordon, and somebody else.
Yep.
Who's the other one? Someone help me out here.
Yeah, I think.
Dang it.
I don't know what
There's
the other
one
is,
more.
but somebody will know it in here.
Yeah.
Definitely think we need to do more segments. I have a little more free time now that I'm out of school, so maybe I can con Dylan away from the shop here for a day, a week or something, and we can go
Penske.
film or something. We can figure something
I
out.
guess Roger.
Oh,
was
Roger. Yeah, I forgot
Roger
Roger
was
got
the
in.
driver.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, if you have any ideas or stuff that you'd want us to do, I definitely think we should do the short track next thing and make like a somewhat big deal out of it.
I would like to go have like a. You know what would be funny is like if we went and like had this serious interview set up, like it looked like 60 Minutes or some shit, where it was like dark room, their faces lit up, and they're like sitting there, and we're sitting there talking, and then it's like, it's like, all right, well, where do you run your track bar height at on the right side? What kind of right rear spring do you got?
Kind of
in
left
it?
front
And
Packers.
just see what they
Kinda
say.
left front
Most of them
bump
wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what's a track bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think most of our group should.
Well, yeah.
But if we went, that's what we planned on doing at the interview at Hickory. But the margaritas took over. We kind of lost our train of thought, and that hurt us.
Those were good interviews, man. Oh my god.
There went my water.
No.
Well, at least it's ice at this point.
Well,
There's no electronics that can hurt at this point. But
do we iRace?
do we iRace?
Yes.
Brandon does now.
Yep.
Which is cool.
Check me out. Sprint cars. All that good
This guy's
stuff.
a
I used
hauling
to-
ass
Not
sprint
much
car
asphalt.
racer.
I used to race all the time. I was in the Drivers' World Championship in 2013, ran the NASCAR Pro Series in 2012, and then I got really frustrated
Man, Landon
with it.
was a pro iRacer at one point.
Yeah.
So that's big news. I spotted for him one time.
Yeah, we crashed at Pocono, and
Yeah.
of course, if you're not familiar with the iRacing service, the spotter and whoever else is on your team can visually see everything that's happening during the race. Well, I wrecked on the front stretch really big. It was
About
really
lap
quiet
10.
on our radio channel, and I just come on board and said, "We're in it, boys." And then Dylan thought that was hysterically
That was
funny.
just the funniest shit I've ever heard because
And I'm
we
upset.
clearly knew it. Like
Yeah.
we were all watching it. He's like, "Yeah, we're in it, boys." I'm like, "Well, bring her to pits." We had about 10 minutes worth of repairs.
It wasn't even worth
I
it.
was like, "All right, I'm getting out of here, dude." I bought freaking Pocono for that race just so I never ran Pocono, so I bought it just so I could go spot it for you. And we made about 10
Yeah.
laps, and
Yeah.
I ain't ran Pocono since.
Quick
We're in
tidbit: the last Drivers' World Championship race I ever run, I didn't practice all week. I was already fed up with it. It was at Kentucky. Got in, qualified 34th out of 40, and I stayed out, took 2 tires on the first caution when everybody else pitted. And I was running about 5th.
Oh,
you could probably
jeez.
find the broadcast on YouTube somewhere. And I overcorrected on the bottom and 1 and 2 on the restart and took out like 20 people. I disconnected, and that was it for my iRacing career.
Fun fact,
Oh, yeah.
Tal Davidson was far enough back. He missed the crash and beat Landon Huffman.
Yeah.
And he's better than you.
Yeah, that was my last Drivers' World Championship race ever. My highlight of my career was like a John West Townley highlight. I finished 3rd at Daytona in the season opener, and I never got close after that.
But Corey asked how you spot for a video game. It's pretty much the same as how you spot for a real game. Like
Yeah.
on there, your spotter kind of sucks. I mean, it doesn't really give you so like it's like watching a real race. You kind of hear.
Yeah, you. Sorry, we got sidetracked by the second comment.
But anyway, yeah, it's
Oh,
basically like watching a real race. I mean, like if I was to be Landon spotter, for instance, there's different views you can watch, just like playing a NASCAR Inside the Line game. I know you've played that before. All the Xbox 360 NASCAR games. You could literally watch different views of it, but it's like live. So like I can go in there and watch his race, but the problem is the stock spotter, like he's like kind of slow. He tells you your lap times and all that, but like if he wanted someone like especially at like a super speedway or a short track where it really mattered,
And with the Drivers' World Championship, because it's literally like, I mean, if you watched it on
It's
their broadcast,
insane.
it looks like the Cup Series. It's like as
Yeah.
far as how on top of each other they're racing and stuff.
Yeah,
but
it's
it was
so
intense,
yeah.
but
I mean,
yeah.
you need a spotter. I mean, it's just like hell. I like having spotters when I'm just running a B fixed race or something.
Yeah,
'cause-
if you don't have someone, it's legit like real life, and it, I had a triple monitor set up at the time, and all I could see was what I could see in a real car, so there really wasn't much.
yeah, hero cards might be a little far fetched for racing.
If you win the Drivers' World Championship, you get like $15,000. Back when I ran, it was like $10,000.
Wow.
But yeah, I remember one time iRacing paid for somebody from Tyler Hudson, who is still a Drivers' World Championship driver, I think, but they paid for him to come run
Him
a
and that
super
Ray
truck.
Yeah, I raced against it for a while. He actually did really good.
Yeah,
Ray
he never
Alfala
ran
or whatever.
anything. Ray Alfala, he does. He's just done
Didn't some
sim
guy
racing.
dump you and you didn't like him?
Oh, Brody Kostecki.
No. There was another guy in the Drivers' World Championship.
Oh yeah, Nick Ottinger.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
remember
full
hearing that
throttled
name a
me
lot.
at Vegas. Me and Josh Berry, and then the highlight on the broadcast was
Josh
late
Berry
model
runs-
drivers wreck.
Josh Berry runs DWC, right?
And I don't think he does anymore.
Yeah, I don't think he does any iRacing anymore.
He did for
Really?
a long time.
Don't
Me
they
and
like
Josh are the only
sponsor
people-
Ty Majeski still a little bit?
Yeah, they do like
Yeah.
Ty
Ty is like an
Xfinity.
alien on there though.
Yeah, he only runs late models. That's it.
I mean,
No, he runs a
he's
few
pretty
things
good.
on there though.
Yeah, he's like 8,000 iRating or whatever. If you're not familiar with iRacing, if you win or run up front, your iRating improves. If you finish
Well, it
in the
also
back,
depends on how often you run
Yeah.
and how many cars what the strength of field is and all that. The problem is if you don't run every night, your iRating kind of sucks and you have to run with a bunch of squirrels, which is my problem because I don't run every damn night because we like to play COD and shit like that.
holy shit. The peaks, the DWC now pays $25,000. Damn, when I played, it was only $10,000 to win.
Nick Payne is on top of it.
You know what happened last time Landon ran iRacing? He came to my house and this guy was getting ready for fucking Dover. Or what was you racing? Bristol?
It was Dover.
No, you was about to race Bristol.
Yeah.
So you was like, man, I need to come get my shit right. I just need to, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm all for it. We come make some test laps. I got these Oculus Rift goggles and all that. So I spent a lot of money getting all this shit set up. I say a lot of money. It's like $500 total. So just not to get anything confused here. But he came, I was like, yeah, come test, man. Run all you want. I want to, I support the hell out of you. I want you to run good. Well, at that particular time, the truck series was racing at Dover. Maybe it was Xfinity. It was the Xfinity series. It was the Xfinity series was racing at Dover. And Landon's like, hey, man, I'm just going to jump into a race. Okay, being that the damn guy is about to race a truck series race, he's won several late model events and stuff. You're like, yeah, go ahead. He should be fine. He's used to be a professional iRacer, literally. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. So I'm like sitting here working, printing his wrap out for his freaking Bristol truck. And next thing I know, I'm like, well, how'd it go? He's like, oh, it sucked, man. I wrecked. I'm like, well, that's all good. I don't care. I knew he'd either win or wreck probably. So The next day, I got a freaking email from iRacing said I was suspended. I was like, man, what the fuck happened? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, what'd you do, dump somebody? He's like, no, I might have maybe run out of caution intentionally. Yeah, well, this somebody spun out or something. And then he just kind of pulled it up on the track to make sure the caution came out and like manipulated the system. Yeah, when the leaders came by. And then so this guy reported me and said, this Dylan Wilson guy's an asshole. I'm like, well, no wonder he comes and races on my account. So
yeah, that was the last time.
So anyway, that's the last time. That's the last time I've raced, let Landon race on mine. But yeah, that's true. I think Scott Speed's banned for life.
I've seen that. He wrecked somebody on the rallycross deal.
Yeah, but he did it like so much. So he wrecked somebody every week.
It's also funny.
Yeah. His safety rating was shit. He was lucky he was sponsored and like working with iRacing because I don't think his safety rating mattered. They just let him be pro all the time.
The Global Rallycross deal is kind of funny because GRC's no more now. And then they just got all that licensing stuff for iRacing. So now I guess the series lives on forever in iRacing, but it's no more.
Yeah, they'll have something else come up, though. I mean, GRC's obviously ran out of whatever. I don't know how that all worked out. But
they weren't paying their bills.
Yeah. But
oh, man. I got to get up in the morning.
Yeah, we've been live for about 2 hours now. That's pretty much a good ways over what we try to do. We always have fun talking at the end, so it's hard to stop. But
especially when we have interaction.
Yeah, we do have day jobs, so we kind of probably ought to get off and go to bed. Plus, I spilled my drink and I need a refill. So that's also putting a big damper on the time. Any last questions? We're going to give it about 2 more minutes and we're getting off. So we're going to go ahead and we talked to Brandon today about all of his situation, his future plans, his this year's plans, everything that's went down this year. Talked about all the rain we've been having. We're giving away. We gave away Anthony Alfredo's fender to Bill. I believe his name was Bill Fender.
Bill Fender. No
yeah. Oh, how about that? Perfect.
So I got some sponsors that are super interested in your new stickers.
Really?
The Jewelry Exchange out of Hickory.
Mm-hmm. We can do
super
that.
Great sponsors. They're super interested in some Windshield Deep.
We can 100% get them some Windshield Deep decals.
Yep. They're super excited.
So yeah, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, if anybody's interested in any of the new merchandise we have, we're still working on shirts. Stay with us.
Shirts. We're baby steps.
We stay. Yeah, we're
we
working.
Got a lot of.
I finally had time to do some decals, but you guys would be surprised at how much damn effort it takes to freaking do this shit. Just the actual live show, man. It's a lot of work. On top of running your own business.
It's a good thing Dylan's good at all this shit because I don't do none of this. I just show up here and talk to the microphone.
Yeah, it's complicated. So I know we have issues a lot, but we're getting there, and we're working with some more marketing.
$40 for that shirt, Corey.
I had to barter just to wear this shirt. It's not even mine.
Yeah, I brought that shirt from the house. Dad said it was not for sale.
I tried to buy it from him. He wouldn't let me. This would be perfect for my collection. Like, my collection's grown a lot. Like, I got some pretty cool shit, but I do not have an Orange Blossom Special shirt, and damn it, he wouldn't sell it to me. But I tried. Sorry, Corey, off limits.
I do have a pretty elite Tim Richmond jacket that I'm proud of. I have a small, very small collection, but I do have a Tim Richmond jacket.
Dylan's jacket and hat combo is pretty... It's up there.
I mean, I spent like $200 on it, but I'm pretty sure it's worth about a lot more.
That jacket's badass.
But the jacket, I haven't never worn it, and it's never been worn. It's still have the tags on it from Hendrick in 1985. So yeah.
Yep,
anyway.
And Nick, that concert, we're not going to talk about that. That's best left untouched there, bud. You know about that.
Oh, goodness. Best
Windshield
concert you've
Deep
been
after
to.
dark.
Yeah. Yeah, so tune in later on Backpage for Windshield Deep After Dark.
Exactly.
We'll be on there. No, but yeah, anyway, we do have a lot of, this is a great time to bring this up. We have a lot of new partners up here. Dexter's Detail and Carolina Custom Golf Carts, they've helped us out over the last couple of weeks, but also since day one, we've had Carolina Sim Works, Fox Tactical, Blondie's Restaurant, and One Design's Wrap. So we have all that, but we obviously, to keep upgrading and make this stuff easier, we're gonna have to get more, and we realize that, and we got to pay bills for it too. I mean, it's not free to live stream off of certain services. So anybody that that may need to write some taxes off or something like that and do a little advertisement on a local short track racing show, support a couple young bucks.
Yeah, if we can get some help on the show too, I don't mind throwing a logo on my race car.
Yeah, we kind of tie it all in. So if you help the show out, you're on the race cars. Landon doesn't get to race every weekend, but I do in limited. So if you have some stuff to promote, you know, I'm no Lee Pulliam, but you know, we run up front sometimes, so
we can have some fun
often.
with it. Definitely,
so we can definitely, and not to mention all the stupid videos we do and all that. So I think tonight we gained a little notoriety a little bit. I mean, I feel like we
all have Brandon on every week.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I wish you could just be.
I had fun, man. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, go beat somebody else's ass in a couple weeks, and we'll.
Just get
no. I mean that's.
We'll cause a lot of
I meant on the track.
On the track. I like that.
I actually meant
better.
that. I wasn't even trying to be sarcastic there. I was like,
oh my
hopefully
God!
In a while, if the Myrtle Beach thing happens and they actually get to race, maybe you'll get to go run that. But overall, it's been really fun tonight.
Nick.
Oh man, Corey Latham has a signed Barry Beverly signed championship shirt.
I think that's pretty badass.
That's up there.
Sure.
That's up there.
Pay attention in the next couple of weeks. There'll be something coming out. That's pretty much all I can say right now.
Anybody wondering when my next cup race is? Or
Dylan's making his cup debut at Sonoma.
I'm gonna be a 3-time champion in 3 years, so suck it.
Also, when I have an announcement, I think it's only fitting to do it for the first time ever on the Windshield Deep podcast. So
you may lose the ride because of it, but you damn right we'll get some views off of it. But how many of y'all are happy Nick Payne is in Ohio? We're all pretty happy about that. He actually interacts with us more now that he is in a new area.
Yeah.
He was just in town this weekend.
Oh.
He didn't come say hey.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Nick made an appearance at one of my Christmas. Was it a Christmas party that y'all came to?
Yep. Christmas party, something like that.
Yeah, they showed up a little after.
He was a little late.
Yeah,
I was probably with him. I think I was there.
We need to have another one, by the way. We're gonna have a Windshield Deep. We're gonna do a Windshield Deep Christmas party this year, like a real.
How about a Halloween party? Everybody has to come as an old school driver.
I was gonna say Christmas is a little far away.
Yeah.
We could do Halloween then Christmas,
Or
but I feel like Christmas is always when you have a corporate
July the 4th.
party.
What about a patriotic July the 4th party?
Yep.
I won't be here then, but we could do it We could do it at some point in time.
Well, how about that? We might just
throw a Windshield Deep, just a Windshield Deep fiasco.
Yeah, we might just have to have a party for all these racer guys.
Yeah,
hang out with some people that we haven't got to hang out with much. But Corey Latham, we're waiting for you to drive down and be on the show for sure. We've got Brandon on. We're gonna try to make this a tri-host.
There you go.
Corey said he's rammed up Myatt's ass.
Nick.
Oh damn.
Jesus.
I do see a lot of Myatt Snyder posts from old Nick Payne.
That's where he works at, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well,
but we gotta get off here before y'all get us arrested. So, anyway, just like always, be sure to, if you want to, follow us on here on Facebook or like us, whatever. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We don't post a bunch on there, but we do let everybody know when we go live and maybe post a couple snippets of videos that we do. Got to thank all of our great sponsors, Carolina SimWorks, Fox Tactical, Dexter's Detailing, Blondie's Restaurant, One Designs, and, of course, Carolina Custom Golf Carts. I'm Dylan Wilson. That's Landon Huffman. And also, our special guest tonight, Brandon Setzer. It's been real. It's been fun, but it ain't been real fun. But as we always remind everybody, live every day like it's Saturday. We'll see y'all next week, Tuesday, 8:30. That's the plan as of now. But stay tuned. We'll upload everything on SoundCloud, Facebook, and YouTube. So
appreciate you guys for tuning in.
Yep. Thank you, guys.